Humans of the Cardboard, the biggest day yet for Phantom Nightmare reveals. The OCG had their live stream this morning. It actually just ended like half an hour ago or something. We got all the cards. We are confirmed now for a brand new cool fire-based Link monster. We are confirmed for, I think, 4 new cards of AROMA support. And I think like 7 new RAIDRAPTOR cards, believe it or not. So let's start with the small stuff and we'll work our way up to the RAIDRAPTOR stuff. We're going through all of it right here. 12 new cards. Let's jump into this thing. Let's see what we got here, because these are some potential big ones. I mean, Plant's already like a really good deck. RAIDRAPTOR's always felt like they've had like some really cool pieces, but 7 cards can really send them over the top. Look at what happened to Phantom Knights a couple of years ago. And let's see how this generic Link turns out as well. Okay, so starting off here, we're going to start with the Link. This is Prisoner Princess of Fruitful Flames. Her artwork looks really cool. I believe also this is the card that was kind of teased in Master Duel, like they were going to get their own like Master Duel exclusive card that the OCG and the TCG didn't have, but then we get it confirmed here that it's just Phantom Nightmare card, I think. So, pretty funny, but yeah. This is a Link 3 Fire Fiend Link effect monster. 2700 attack, pretty beefy for a Link 3. It points to the left, it points to the right, and it points straight down. So at least you get 1 arrow down, but that's not always the most important thing. It is completely generic here. 2 or more effect monsters. Okay, that's scary. And the second and third effects of this card are hard ones per turns. The first effect says you cannot special summon monsters except fire monsters. Okay, so this is clearly fire support. While it's on the field, by the way, keep that in mind. It's just while it's on the field, it locks you into only summoning fire monsters. So if you link this off for a fire monster, you know, use some effect to clear it, then you can just start summoning anything. So that's a soft lock, essentially. Second effect, during your main phase, you can special summon 1 fire monster from your graveyard. Now that is pretty strong. Especially if you link climb into this card. You know, you use a Hita to make this. You could even use a Doolittle Chimera to make this. Reborn the Doolittle Chimera, and now you've got this thing would be plus 500 attack, so it would be 3200 attack plus the 1900 attack Chimeras. Is pretty big. That's over 5,000 damage just by being able to make a Link 3, which is cool. Not bad, obviously, and then ideally you'd be playing this in a fire deck anyway, so being able to reborn anything is nice. This probably seems like a pretty good tool for like Rescue Ace, potentially. We'll see, and Fire Kings. Third effect, if a monster or monsters is special summoned to your opponent's field while this card is in your graveyard. Target 1 fire monster you control and 1 monster your opponent controls. Does not have to be the monster that was summoned, by the way. Destroy them, and if you do special summon this card, holy shnikes. So this is a really good link climbing tool, and you pretty much just want to get this engraved because then it gives you a legit interruption and is also going to offer you more follow-up on the next turn. Because then, like, it summons it back. If your opponent doesn't out it after you've summoned it back on your opponent's turn to interrupt them, you're just reborning something again. Plus, keep in mind, one thing that's pretty nasty about this card, this is like the exact kind of effect where I would almost expect them to have a clause that says, banish this card when it leaves the field. It does not. This card just continually keeps going to grave, continually keeps coming back and popping your opponent's stuff. This card is pretty insanely powerful. Now, this restriction's annoying, so I do still expect it to only really see that much play in fire decks, plus because you have to have a fire monster on field to even make the third effect live. But still, very, very good card, honestly. So keep an eye on that if you're looking at playing some fire decks going forward. I think there's a handful of fire decks that are going to be like running around at the top of the metagame anyway, so keep an eye on that. Very cool. Okay, moving on, let's get to the AROMA cards here. Let's start off with our main deck monster. I think we only have 1 main deck monster, a Fusion, a Link, and a Spell and a Trap. Oh, it's 5 cards, actually. So this is AROMA Lilith Rosalina. Cool artwork. I know some people will appreciate her artwork here. Yeah, she looks cool. Very cool. Very cute. Very cool. This is a level 1 Dark Plant Tuner effect monster. 0 attack, 0 defense. You can only use the first and second effects of this card once per turn. First effect, quick effect. You can discard this card to target an AROMA monster you control. Gain life points equal to half its attack. That's not a very powerful effect inherently, or like in a vacuum, but in the confines of what AROMA does, that's pretty good. Some of their cards, when they're on the field and you gain life points, they get you some pretty powerful bonus effects. Stuff like Jasmine, I know there's the one card that gives you an additional normal summon. There's a couple others as well. Some of their trap cards. It's good for this as well. Second effect. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can special summon one Aroma non-tuner monster from your deck. Also, you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of the turn except plants. Okay. That's really solid. Aromas have never really had a great normal summon. Now, you may have tried to play them with like the Rika variants and the Sunavalon variants where you have stuff like Unexpected Die as a non-normal summon requiring way to play. But normally you're like either normal summoning Genius Loci or normal summoning Rika Petal as like to get your play started. So the fact that Aromas have their own normal summon is really nice. I like that it's also on special. So even if you have like a combo line maybe that summons it through like Aromatherapy Jasmine and you only still have to play a small package, this still gets you some payoff. It's good. I mean, right? We're just talking about a lone fire, or not a lone, we're talking about a tour guide for the deck, right? It's just good. So pretty good card to start. It may be a one-card combo, but I don't know off the top of my head. Aroma Lilith Magnolia. This is a brand new fusion monster for them. It's a level 8 dark plant fusion. 2600 attack, 1800 defense. It requires an aroma monster plus a plant, so not completely generic. Does need an aroma, but, you know, it's there. It's still easy enough to make. While your life points are higher than your opponent's, plant monsters you control cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. Okay, just blanket, destruction, protection. That's fine. It's a good bonus effect. Second effect, once per turn you can pay 2,000 life points to banish cards on the field equal to the total number of human winds, dried winds, and blessed winds that you control. That's interesting. Okay, this is a non-targeting banish, by the way. Any cards on the field. Now, I don't expect you to be banishing more than one all that often, like super consistently. But still, even a non-target banish 1 is pretty strong. It's not a quick effect or anything, which makes this card feel a little bit more underwhelming to me, but that is still strong removal, so I guess you can't discount it. And the third effect, once per turn, if you gain life points, you can make all plant monsters you currently control gain an equal amount of attack until the end of this turn, so I guess that's equal to the life point gained. If you gained a certain amount, everything would gain that. Which, you know, is only till the end of the turn, but that could still be nice. I mean, if we're talking about Rosalina, like Rosalina pitches to gain life points equal to half of a monster's attack. So you could target Magnolia, and that means you gain 1,300, and everything on your field gains 1,300. So she's 39, and everything else gets big as well, so you could push for quite a bit of damage. All in all, this reads like a card that like wants to go second more than anything else, but I'm not really sure that is playable. Like, I don't know. Like, the deck doesn't have a fusion spell yet. We'll see if we get something later on, but just seems underwhelming to me. Not too big a fan of this one. Okay, new link. This is Aroma Lilith Rosemary. This is a Link 3 Dark Plant Link monster. 2200 attack. It points bottom left, bottom, and bottom right. 3 open zones. Cool. Takes any 2 or more plant monsters, so this one is generic, which means you might be able to just climb into this off of your Aromatherapy Jasmine, which is nice. You can use all 3 of its effects once per turn. If this card is special summoned, you can add an Aroma card from your deck to your hand. That's pretty interesting. Now, I don't know if they actually have like a straight up extender that you can search, which is kind of a problem because like I would assume you'd have to use your normal just to even get to this card. And then the fact that they don't even really have like too many. I guess they have the one little guy that can summon from hand, but we'll see. If you gain life points, you can special summon up to 3 Aroma monsters from your hand to your zone this card points to. The fact that this is hand is pretty underwhelming, I feel like. Yeah, I don't know about that. Because, like, normally you would have to, like, what are you going to pitch one of your guys who gains you life points, like, from hand, and then try to pull more cards out of the hand? You're just, like, dumping your whole hand onto the field. I guess isn't the worst thing in the world, but like just seems underwhelming, you know, not too crazy. And then you contribute a monster this card points to a target card on the field, banish it, and if you do, gain 1,000 life points. Now that is pretty good, and that also makes this a little bit better, I guess, because you can it can gain life points itself and then trigger the second effect to pull more stuff out of the hand. That's interesting. Okay, I mean, I think literally the first effect is the most important thing here, because like on your way to maybe making like Bengal Answer, you just go along, you make this card along the way to get a free plus. And that could be useful in and of itself. So this card could see play just because you could like maybe not even add too much, like maybe one card into the main deck we'll see, but like this card becomes a potential just link climb card to just get free advantage. It's pretty cool. Okay, cool. Okay, and then we have a spell and a trap. We move to Aroma Blend. This is a normal spell. You can only use its first and second effects once per turn. Discard one card to place a Humid Winds, Dried Winds, or Blessed Winds from your hand or deck face up in your spell and trap card. Okay, or in your spell and trap zone. I don't know that you have to discard, but like, man, it does just get you any of the winds cards, which I was wondering, like, this card does not get you a wind, but because you can get this and then get the wind, that's a little bit better. It's definitely better. So we'll take that for sure. Second effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard to fusion summon a plant monster from your extra deck by banishing materials mentioned on it from your hand or field. If your life points are higher than your opponent's, you can also banish plants from graveyard as material. Cool. Okay. Now listen, I still don't love this fusion, but like, maybe you play it just for the sole fact that like normally your life points are higher than your opponent. You may be using this card anyway and able to use just materials from grave as well anyway, so it could just plop a big monster on your field regardless to help you keep playing. So I don't hate it. I don't know off the top of my head, but maybe there's also some other... Oh, you know what? There could be some like Predaplant stuff. Isn't that like Chimera Rafflesia is like a plant plus any dark monster? Or I don't remember exactly what its materials are, but like that may be doable. So we'll see. Keep an eye on this. This is definitely a pretty good card because it searches your interruptive traps while also getting you the potential to plop a fusion. So very cool. Good card. And last card here is Aroma Healing. You can only use the first or second effect once per turn. It's a normal trap. Gain 1,000 life points for each Aroma monster with different names you control. Okay. And then from grave, you can banish this card, then target an Aroma monster in your grave, special summon it, but banish it when it leaves the field. Then gain 500 life points. Just okay. I mean, there's some small stuff. I mean, if you look at like Aroma Lilith Rosemary, she searches on just special summon, not on link summon. So you could like use her to make Bengalancer after searching turn 1, and then just use this as a follow-up card to reborn her. I don't think its main effect is strong enough. I think that grave effect is way better, but you know, the fact that you have to like use the first effect to gain life points and then use the other one from grave, and it's just like a follow-up card at that point, that's just mediocre to me. So not huge on this card, but I think the spell's really good. I think the Link 3 is quite good, and I think the main deck monster is quite good. The other two are just okay, but still not. I'm not going to rule them out entirely, but cool. That's a cool place to be. Cool. Good for aromas, good for Plant Link in general, because like if we do get something banned, maybe these cards help fill the gaps for that deck. We'll see, but let's get into it. Moving into Raidraptors. Let's start off with Noir Lanius. This is a level 4 Darkwing Beast, of course. I'm not going to say that anymore because they're probably all going to be that. 1600 attack, 500 defense, 2 hard ones per turns. During the main phase, if this card was normal or special summoned this turn, you can target one Raidraptor monster you control, add one Raidraptor monster with a different level from your deck to your hand. Okay, I like that this can target itself, so it is self-sufficient. It does not need like other cards to play. Okay, but it does add something with a different level. I guess that doesn't lock you out of summoning Y-Strix at least, though, so that's cool. You can banish this card from the graveyard, increase or decrease the levels of all Raidraptors you control by 1 until the end of this turn. Okay, cool. This seems like a good normal summon. This looks like this could just be the new normal summon of the deck, right? It just gets you a search, which could be cool. I'm into it. Next up here we have Raidraptor Bloom Vulture. Okay, this is a level 4 Darkwing Beast, 319. You can only use the first effect of its 2 effects once per turn. Okay, so you have to pick one, and only once that turn. Also, during the turn you activate these effects, you are locked into dark monsters. Cool. If you only control Winged Beast monsters, special summon this card and one Raidraptor monster from your hand. Okay. If you control no monsters, you can target 2 level 4 lore Raidraptor monsters in your graveyard, including this card. Huh? Alright, 2 special summon them in defense. So, this card would be in grave for this effect, right? It would have to be in grave with another level 4 lore Raidraptor, and it could summon them both back. Okay, that's really cool, because it seems like this card would be just a staple part of combos where it like pulls 2 Raid Raptors out of the hand to just like play. And then as follow-up on the next turn, even if your board got broken, if you have no monsters, you can just special summon it and any other Raid Raptor from grave. That's pretty good. I like that a lot. I think this card seems pretty powerful as like a combo piece. That also offers really good follow-up. This card almost reminds me of the what's her name? Oh man, why am I struggling so hard? The Marine Cess. The Marine Cess Link 3, the newer one, where like in grave you have no monsters, you can just like summon back a bunch of links for free. It's cool. Okay, into the Exceeds. 1, Raid Raptor, Rising Rebellion Falcons. This guy's probably your new boss monster. He is a rank 13 Darkwing Beast. Rank 13, okay. 4,000 attack, 3,500 defense. He requires 5 level 13 Winged Beasts, but how are you supposed to even get those out? If this card is XYZ summoned, you can destroy as many cards your opponent controls as possible. Then, if this card has 3 or more Raid Raptor Exceeds with different names as material, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the destroyed monster's total original attack. That could actually just be an FTK depending on the situation. I doubt it'd come up very often, but cool. It's still good enough to wipe your opponent's entire board. I don't think we're reaching this qualification all too often, or if you are, you probably don't want to put it all into this card. Maybe you do. Because the second effect says it's unaffected by other card effects, so even if your opponent had a negate ready, they couldn't do anything to this card anyway. They're losing their stuff. And once per turn, you can attach 3 materials from this card, then target a Raid Raptor Exceed in grave. Replace this effect with that monster's original effects until the end of the turn. Okay, so a ton going on here. Obviously, you're never making this card this way. You're using one of the rank up spells to get into this. I don't know which one exactly facilitates this quite as well, or the best, so you'd have to do some research on that. But obviously, it's pretty powerful, right? I'm getting some Zark vibes here. 4,000 attack, wipes the board on summon, and then becomes a towers, and has a bonus effect to copy a Raid Raptor Exceed effect later. Very powerful card, obviously. But how easy is it to facilitate? Not totally sure yet, to be honest. So we'll see. We'll keep an eye on that. Okay, next up we have Raid Raptor Brave Strix, a rank 5 Darkwing Beast, of course. Rank 5 is weird, though, because normally Raid Raptors are mainly 4s, so we'll keep an eye on that. He takes any 2 level 5 monsters, though. You can only use 1 of his 2 effects once per turn. First effect, of the first 2 effects at least. First effect, you can attach a material from this card to set a Raid Raptor spell or trap directly from your deck. Okay, free pluses, I like that. Second effect, if this card has a Winged Beast as material, you can detach a material from this card to add a rank up magic spell from your deck to your hand. You can only, but you can only use 1 of these effects per turn. You can't use both. Blah. That's so annoying. What? I mean, I guess you just have to pick and choose which one is more important, but that's annoying. And if this card has a Raid Raptor Exceed as material, it gains attack equal to its rank times 100. So, sure. Did they even state how big this guy is? They didn't even put this guy's stats on here. So, let's see how big this guy is. He's normally he's 2,000, 2,500. So, he can get up to mid to high 2,000s, I guess, which is fine. Okay, good card, but like kind of a bummer that you can only do 1 of these 2 effects per turn and not both. For sure. My guess is you're using the like level modulation of this first guy to like raise 2 level 4 Raid Raptors to 5s and then make that guy to keep plussing, is my guess. Okay, we have a new rank up. This is Rise Rank Up Magic Raid Raptors Force. Okay, RRUMRF. Good name. Quick play spell. You can only use 1 card this card's name per turn. During either player's main phase or your opponent's battle phase, target 2 or more Raid Raptor Exceed monsters you control and in the graveyard, including 1 on the field. Okay, so you got to target 2, but 1 can be in grave, 1's got to be on field. Gotcha. 2 or more. Special summon from your extra deck a Raid Raptor Exceed monster whose ranks equal those monsters' total ranks. That's exactly. And if you do, attach those monsters to it as material. This is treated as an XYZ summon. Transfer their materials to the summoned monster. Okay, so my guess is you're trying to... Well, this guy's a 5. I'm trying to think, like, because they have to equal the total. So you could do, like, 2 4s and a 5. So you could go through this guy. You could go through 2 of the 4 Strixes, or the rank 4. I think it's 4 Strix. Because he's not once per turn. So you go search, go through this guy, search, and then you'd have 4, 4, and 5 engraved. That would also give him 3 materials to be able to use his effect on a later turn. But that's pretty good. And the fact that it's a quick play as well is pretty nice. So this is the card that kind of gets you up into that. Hopefully there's other lines that like still help you facilitate, like maybe the old one, Ultimate Falcon as well, that maybe if it's not like full combo, you can still do some stuff. We'll see. The fact that it has to be total ranks is a little bit weird to me, because then it's like you do need specific setups, but I'm sure there are lines where like you can kind of pick and choose which levels you want to set up, so I don't think it's that big of a deal, but still pretty cool. RAIDRAPTOR Boost. This is a continuous spell. You can only use both of its effects once per turn. If a RAIDRAPTOR monster is special summoned from the extract to your field, you can add a RAIDRAPTOR spell or trap from deck to hand. Okay, that's pretty good. You know, search cards like this are kind of weird, though, just because you have to already be able to play. This card doesn't help you play. You have to be able to get to a RAIDRAPTOR extract monster first. But luckily, they have a generic, like an easy-to-make Link 2, an easy-to-make Rank 4. So, like, if you can just get to one of those with this card, I'm assuming that's quite good. And the second effect, you can target 3 of your RAIDRAPTOR monsters that are banished and/or engraved, place them on a mono deck in any order, then draw 1 card. That's nice. Okay, this card's actually kind of nice. Yeah, because then you just get to draw. Yeah, I'm assuming like this card plus your new normal summon are actually like a pretty nasty combo, because you're drawing 1 later, you're also getting a free search of a RAIDRAPTOR card. That seems pretty good. Okay, lastly we have RAIDRAPTOR Barrage, a normal trap card. You can only use 1 of its 2 effects once per turn, only once that turn. Man, multiple cards today with those types of effects. If you control a RAIDRAPTOR monster, target a face-up card your opponent controls, negate its effects until the end of the turn. Unless you control a RAIDRAPTOR XYZ at activation, you can only target monsters. Okay, unless you control a RAIDRAPTOR XYZ, you can only target monsters. So it's just impermanence if you don't control an Exceed, but if you control an Exceed, you can target anything, which helps because it helps you negate stuff like Board Breakers, your Dark Ruler No Mores, your Herald of the Abyss is probably an important one here because you have that Towers guy in your deck now. Well, the deck's always had a Towers, but yes, it can kind of protect your Towers from even losing and stuff like that, which is kind of cool. So, cool, decent negate. You can banish this card from your grave to target one of your RAIDRAPTOR monsters that's banished or engraved. Add it to hand. That's just solid. That's just par for the course from when we see these archetypal trap cards. Got to get something else out of it aside from just a one-time interruption. But that's a pretty good bonus here. Okay, very cool. That's a pretty decent card as well. Could be part of the end board. If, like, just ending on the way to wipe an opponent's board into a 4K Towers, and then a card like this that protects you from something like Herald of the Abyss as well is pretty decent. Yeah, so all in all, I mean, pretty interesting stuff. I like the normal summon. I like this guy as a combo piece. This guy's obviously powerful, but the question is how well does the deck facilitate him? This guy's pretty cool as well, but he is a little bit awkward because he's a 5, but I do think the new normal summon guy kind of helps you with that. This card's good as well, but because it's so, like, rank dependent and, like, getting you to certain things, I do have questions about, like, is it kind of like a brick if your opponent's going to hand trap you in ways that keep you from getting the right levels or ranks engraved? So that's a question. This card's pretty good, but you do have to open it with another card. It's not a 1-card play. And this card's a pretty good end board piece as well. So all in all, pretty good. Like the RAIDRAPTOR stuff, I already know the deck was like a interesting rogue deck. It wasn't getting too much like representation, but like it's a deck that's like interesting and does some pretty powerful things. AROMA is going to jump in there with another engine that's like going to be something you look at for the Rika Sun Avalon deck. We'll see. And then this card's pretty nasty. This is going to be a staple in a good amount of fire decks, I would guess. Salamangrate's definitely going to play this card, I think. So, very, very cool. Let me know your thoughts down below on this stuff. Sorry this video ran a little long, but we had a lot to get through, right? How many cards did we even go through? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 Phantom Knights, 5 Aromas, and this. So, 13 cards. That's kind of a lot. I think that leaves us with, I want to say 16 cards left, which makes me guess that probably for the next day or two, we may get 1 or 2 last reveals. And then like Wednesday, Thursday, maybe we'll get the like final filler cards. There'll be a couple of interesting stuff in there. I will keep you posted on any of that stuff to see how the set officially rounds out. But very cool. Very cool. Let me know your thoughts down below. A lot of stuff here. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.